Welcome to the Principal Podcast today. This is X.A. Anderson. I like studying a little bit about the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs are an elite group of individuals who can do amazing things. And I like studying a little bit about what they have to go through to get to be this elite group. And there's a process they go through called Hell Week, where they're exposed to all kinds of really, really hard things. I mean, sleep deprivation, lots of being in the cold water, lots of exercise, running through, doing all kinds of training exercise where they're absolutely exhausted. And these are big, strong guys who they push them to their physical limits. But when they get through this Hell Week, they've become stronger, and they also know themselves that they can handle just about anything. Now, in life, I got to tell you, one thing I know about you, the listener, one thing I know about you is that you have pain. You have something, a battle inside you that probably nobody else knows about. And this pain is something that people carry. Now, what I'm about to say, some may take issue with, but I'm going to tell you my opinion on this. I believe there's a loving God who loves us very much. And a lot of people ask, why is there so much pain in the world? Why is there so many hard things going on in the world, horrible things going on in the world? Why would a loving God let horrible things happen? And I'm just going to reference a scripture. So in Isaiah 55, 8, and 9, I think it says something like this. It says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. And let me ask you this. Suppose for a moment that there's a loving God who wants us to become more like him. But let me ask you this. How are gods even made? I mean, gods are by nature all-powerful. It's the God I believe in, all-powerful, all-wise. And if he wants us to become more like him, is it possible that a loving God allows us to experience some pain because he's making us into something much, much better than we can imagine? I believe that our pain is our superpower. Now, I'm not trying to say we should inflict pain on others at all. I'm not trying to say we should sadists or masochists. What I'm trying to say is when pain comes, and it comes to everyone in life, if we can trust that our pain is simply a superpower, an embryo. Many of you know that I lost my mom. If you haven't, you can go back and listen to episodes 1 and 2 of the Principal Podcast. That was an extremely, extremely painful thing for me. It was so hard as an 8-year-old boy to watch my mom die. But the interesting thing is now, I'm 45 decades later. Not only do I feel her influence more, but just that experience has made me realize how important parenting is. And I feel like I'm supposed to share that with you. And somehow the pain, I still miss my mom. I'd love to give her a hug, but it's becoming slowly for me, I feel like a little bit of a superpower because I know what life was like before and after she died. I know the little things that she did that made a huge influence and still affect me today. And hopefully I can use that pain to serve you. Hopefully I can use it to serve my children, my wife, be a better dad and a better father because of the pain that I experienced. Maybe there will be other things coming forward that will help. But your pain, if you let it, this is at the beginning of my book. It's the point of my book. It says, with Christ, your greatest pain becomes your greatest strength. If you let him, he will turn your pain into love and joy that serves and blesses others in ways you never thought possible. With him, your pain becomes your superpower. it changes into deep, joyful, real love. And real love never fails, ever. Trust God. When things get really hard, there's a reason. He is making you into something you can't possibly imagine, for good. It's painful, sometimes excruciatingly so, but trust him. He knows what he's doing. Thank you so much for joining the Principal Podcast. I'm so glad that you listened and took the time. You know, I'm on a mission to help as many marriages and families as I possibly can. I would love to hear from you. You know, things that keep you up at night, that concern you about your family, your marriage, and what things we could talk about on the Principal Podcast. If you like the podcast, please like, subscribe. You can check out my book on Amazon. It's called What I Want My Children to Know Before I Die. And again, thank you for supporting the podcast.